everybody, my name is Victoria, and today I am doing a sort of chatty video with you about what Booktube has done for my reading life and how it's affected it, how it's changed it, and also a short Q&A. I recently hit 500 subscribers and I asked you guys to give me some questions, and I didn't get a ton of questions, but I got a few. So at the end, I will answer those questions. So I joined Booktube in 2018, but I had kind of been watching it for a little bit earlier than that, and actually started a channel, or attempted to, and then I got scared and I deleted all of my content from that channel, and I deleted that channel because I was nervous about making videos and having my face on the internet. A year later, I tried again, and that brought us to 2018. So I actually am going to insert a quick video of what my reading life looked like the couple years before actually making videos. All right, so I just wanted to give you a quick overview of when I first started making a challenge. I've been on Goodreads since 2011, but it looks like I never made it like a goal until 2016, and you can see that we failed that goal pretty miserably. I read 5 books, and actually no, one of them is an article. One of them is a textbook because I was in grad school at the time. So that's funny. I didn't even realize that, but so 2016, let's see 2017. Okay, 9 books. We got a little better. Just a little bit. Okay, these are actually like what you would consider books. Oh, I read Anna Karenina. That was good. Okay, 27, 9 books. Let's see what happens when I discover Booktube. 42 books. 2018 was the year that I joined Booktube. So you can see quite a difference. You can also see that I read some books that were popular on Booktube, but I did not end up liking them. So like Cassandra Clare, for instance, I tried that just because of the hype, and I was just like, looking for what I liked, but yeah, did not end up being a fan of Cassandra Clare, but quite a jump, I would say. So as you saw, my reading life just simply exploded once I started becoming an active part of the Booktube community. Before Booktube, I had always considered myself a reader, but I was very, very busy with school, and music has always been like my life focus. If you don't know that about me, I was a music major. I'm actually a professional musician. People actually pay me to play the flute. I get paid to play music, and I'm also a full-time band director, music teacher. And so music is one of those things that definitely can take over your life, but I always loved books. And I had actually initially, when I was a freshman in college, I was planning on being a double major in English and music. However, it wasn't really going to work out with what my goals in music were. So I decided in the end I was going to drop the English major. The reason I wanted to be an English major was just because I loved books, but I wasn't quite sure like what career path that was going to take me on. So in the end, I actually dropped the major and focused on music. And my mentality at the time was I can always read books and enjoy books. But I did kind of fall out of a reading community because I was so steeped in a music community, which is understandable. That's where I was at the time, and I don't like regret that or anything. That's just what my life was at the moment. But once I finished grad school and then started teaching full-time, that's really when I discovered Booktube, and I was so excited about it because I finally had an outlet for reading and for books, which was what I was hoping to get, like by being an English major. Obviously that wasn't the right path for me, but this was like the perfect opportunity for me to cultivate that love of books and actually like make it a priority in my life. At this point, I don't actually remember how I found Booktube. I vaguely remember Christine Riccio from Poland Bananas Books being the first person that like I latched onto and was watching, and I just thought she was like so funny and entertaining. But the books that she was reading, I was like, those aren't necessarily the books that like I gravitate towards. I wasn't really a big YA reader. My reading before Booktube, I think, was definitely a lot more like theological nonfiction and like serious literary fiction. I was really into classics as well, and I still am. So that was more of what I read. I wasn't really like a reader of popular genres and popular like up and coming books that people read currently, and I didn't know what was current and what was popular. I didn't know what other people were reading because I didn't have any real life friends who were readers. None of my family were really readers at all. I didn't know that these kinds of reading communities even existed. Another thing that being part of Booktube has done, it has expanded my reading different genres, and particularly just my willingness to try different things. And also it has kind of shaken my preconceived notions about genres. I think that before Booktube, I maybe had some like judgments against certain genres and certain people who read those genres. I had certain assumptions, and Booktube has definitely like shattered that bubble for me, which I think is a great thing. I think I read more diversely. I'm aware of more diverse books. I'm aware of more diverse readers, and I'm not quite so judgmental. If someone is reading something that I wouldn't necessarily like gravitate towards, I'm not like, particularly in romance, because now I've read some romance that I've really enjoyed, and I'm definitely not as like judgmental on people who read romance. In fact, I'm not judgmental at all, just to be clear about that. If you read romance, that's awesome. And then the last thing I want to say about what it has done for me in general, and just what creating content has done for me, is that it's made me practice my public speaking skills. I think I have a new skill set now that I really didn't have before. I think it's helped me with my confidence in speaking. It's also taught me how to form my thoughts better, to be more articulate. It's taught me how to critically analyze books a little bit more, and to kind of look out for certain things in books. And I think these were side effects that I didn't really anticipate when I started the channel. You know, when I started the channel, I was just looking for bookish friends, which I have found, and I'm very, very happy about that. And I'm just really thankful for it, and I want to thank you for being along with me on this journey. I would have never thought that I would have had 500 subscribers. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to what I have to say and caring about what I have to say for some reason. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do the Q&A. I had 5 questions. So the first question was from my good friend Rainy Day Reads, and she asked, how did Julio and I meet? So if you're new here, Julio is my husband, and he has appeared in a few videos, mostly vlogs, and then we've started to do a series together where we talk about the movies and TV shows that we watch, because that is something that he really likes. He's a big movie person, and he loves watching movies, and he is also like a very critical watcher. Anyways, how we met. So Julio was also a music major at the same college as me, but he's actually 5 years older than me, so we didn't have a lot of overlap. I think I was a freshman and he was in like his last year of grad school, so I didn't really talk to him very much when we were actually like students at the same time. But when I was about maybe a junior or a senior, we just started hanging out with mutual friends and started realizing that we had a lot in common and that we both listened to similar music. So we have some particular bands that we both like. Dream Theater was a big one that we bonded over. Dream Theater was actually our first date ever as a couple. But anyways, we had very specific musical tastes that we both bonded over, and we also discovered that we were both Christians, and that was something that was really important to both of us in who we were going to date and marry. So yeah, basically through college. That was maybe a longer answer than you needed, but through college. The next question was from Christy Lewis, and she asked, what's your favorite breakfast, and are you and Julio foodies? Are we ever? We love food, and ooh, breakfast, you know, I'm not a huge breakfast person. I think Julio likes breakfast a lot more than I do, but there's a breakfast place that's very near us. We really like to go out for breakfast. We're not very good at making breakfast on our own. We love going out for breakfast. We can't go out right now for breakfast, sadly, but there's a really good place that has really excellent, like, southern style breakfast. Like, they have amazing chicken fried steak, and their pancakes are like, you know, this big. They're like bigger than my head. And yeah, I think I mostly like sweet things for breakfast, and Julio's more like, he likes the heavy, like chicken fried steak, breakfast burritos. Yeah, I think I'm a little bit more like pancakes, waffles, French toast is more my go-to breakfast. Actually, to give you an example of how much we are foodies, we live maybe an hour or more away from Los Angeles, and we have literally driven to downtown Los Angeles just to visit specific food trucks that have amazing tacos. That's the only reason we went to LA, was just for tacos. So we will drive for food. We will do a lot for food, including sitting in LA traffic. The next question is, what's a favorite childhood memory, and also favorite instrument to play and listen to? This is a hard question for me to answer. This is from Krista from Books and Jams. And okay, favorite childhood memory. You know, this is tough because I have a pretty bad memory. But I think one of my favorite memories is like just playing make-believe with my younger brother. I have a brother who's 2 years younger than me, and just like hanging out with him and playing with him. We would definitely exercise our imaginations, and you know, back then kids didn't have iPads and phones and devices, so you just had like maybe your toys and some creativity. And yeah, I just remember really having a lot of fun just playing with my little brother. And then okay, this is a two-part. So favorite instrument to play, this is okay, without getting into this too much. I'm a flutist. That is what I studied classically, and I'm classically trained as a flutist. However, while I enjoy playing the flute and I enjoy playing flute music, there's also like a level of like internal pressure that I have on myself when I play the flute, because I've studied it classically and because it's like a job a little bit. It's not that I don't enjoy playing, but it has a little bit of a mental, like, this is a job and I don't do this for fun. I'm trying to change that. I've really been actively trying to change that for the last like couple of years, since I've been out of grad school and that whole like pressure to perform well. I'm trying to like find my love for that instrument again, because I love playing the flute, and I wouldn't have been a flute major unless I had really loved the instrument. So I do love playing that, but there's also like a mental thing when I play the flute of like, I'm not good enough, I need to practice more. You know, that internal dialogue really gets to me when I play the flute. I think because it's something that I do like get paid to do, so it's kind of changed that for me a little bit. I would say I love sitting down to my piano and playing, because I feel like I really like clear my head when I just sit at the piano and play. And then also like sitting at a piano is more comfortable than holding a flute, and it's more like of a natural position for your body. And so I can really like sit at a piano and play for a long time, like many hours. And I find it a little bit more therapeutic actually playing the piano. So I know that's a really complicated answer, but then my favorite instrument to listen to isn't necessarily the flute. I love listening to the piano, and also I love listening to strings. I am learning the violin right now. I don't love listening to myself play the violin, but I enjoy listening to other people play the violin, cello. I think those are some of my favorite instruments. I think I missed my calling to be a professional string player instead of a flutist, but I also really love the flute. So yeah, I just want to play all the instruments. That's my goal in life, is to play everything. The next question was from Happily Ever Esh, and she asked, what is your favorite physical place? And then pictures too if you have them. I'll try to insert pictures. I don't have these pictures digitally, so I have to figure out how to scan them. So if I do, you'll see a picture. If not, you won't. But I haven't done a ton of traveling in my life, but I did get to go to France and a little bit of London, and I think one of my favorite places that I went to in France was this beautiful church, and now I can't think of the name of it. I'll put the name of it right here, but it's very famous. Oh, Sacré-Cœur, that's right, Sacred Heart, I believe. And it was like the most peaceful and beautiful church, and it also has this beautiful view of Paris, and it's gorgeous. I remember just like sitting on the steps of that church and feeling really at peace. So I actually went back in 2012, so this was quite a while ago when I went. I would love to go back. I would love to take Julio to Paris and just like show him all the cool things that I got to see. There were also some things that I didn't get to see in Paris, so someday I hope to go back. I love everything about Paris. If you're talking about like a favorite physical place that's closer, I love sitting in a library. I just love to be surrounded by books and like go hang out or study in a library. That's definitely a happy place for me. I love to just like pull out books and look at them and touch them and smell them. And then the last question that I got was, what's the first book you remember reading? And I got this question from Bobby Sue Davis, who I don't think has a YouTube channel, but she has been a subscriber of mine and a frequent commenter. So thank you for this question. I think it's a really good question. The first book that I remember like reading myself would be Dr. Seuss books. So like I had Hop on Pop, Green Eggs and Ham, One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. I remember those were being the first books that like I could read with, you know, those 3-letter words. And I actually was reading before I got to kindergarten. My mom had me starting pretty young learning letters, and it was also just something that I kind of picked up and I really wanted to read. I always really liked books as a toddler. I was really fascinated by them. As far as like a book maybe that was even earlier than Dr. Seuss, I remember being read to, especially from Goodnight Moon, which I know is a really popular children's picture book, and you probably have heard of that one. But I remember really liking the pictures and the illustrations in that one. Once again, thank you for being part of my booktube journey. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and getting to know a little bit more about me. Thank you for sticking with me and being part of my community. I'm so happy to be here, and I hope to keep making videos for forever, for a long time to come, as long as booktube is a thing to do. I hope you're having a great day or night wherever you are in the world. Keep reading great books, and until next time, bye bye.